notes on breathwork and consciousness. This is notes for a video. Dr. Joe Dispenza is going to take little clips that are really important. Here is talking about the conscious energetic field and how we feed off our life force to become more material. When we're living out of the lower three centers, we feed off our life force to become more material. And we transmute that life force into material form.
Conditioned to become the mind. So then when we live by these centers in our daily life, these first three centers of survival are energy consumers. In other words, when there is a sexual release, when you are consuming and breaking food down into energy, when you're running from a predator or you're facing a threatening or challenging situation in your life, you're drawing from this invisible field of energy and you're turning that life force into chemistry, and all of a sudden you're diminishing the field around your body. What's the relevance of that? Well, it makes sense. Now you're becoming more matter and less energy, more particle and less wave. And the very chemicals cause us to feel separation or disconnected from the field called the quantum field.
So a sense of separation creates more separation. And essentially the goal is to unite the material with the consciousness. When we bring up the rate of frequency of the body and ascend the energy from the lower three centers through the breath, through the breathing, right, into a higher state of consciousness, into the upper centers, what happens is actually our body, which is the eye, which is where we see from, starts vibrating higher. And we start to merge our body with that quantum field. Or you can think of it as the permeating field of ether all around you. And as we merge into that, right, instead of thinking base thoughts, we're thinking higher thoughts. We're actually attuning our transducer, our receiver, right, to frequencies faster than the speed of light. And when we do that, like that's the third eye opening essentially. And the goal is to become more conscious, to increase your life force. And the more we increase our life force, the more reserves or potency we have to draw from when we move into the world. But the thing is oftentimes we're not meant to be locked in the lower three centers of consciousness. We're not meant to be locked in a body consciousness. We must liberate our consciousness from our body. Those lower three centers have their place in time. Whether it is survival you're in a survival situation, or there is danger present. But the thing is we live in constant scarcity and survival mode. We live in constant reaction to distraction, leaking energy. We live in constant consumption. We're in an age of consumption. And because of this, because of all the stress and work and all these things, we're always in those lower three centers. Therefore, we're so fucking dense. And when we're so dense, right, consciousness is not liberated. There is no connection. There is separation. And essentially, we're descending back towards mortality in the earth, right?
That the positive charge being at the head and the negative charge being at the tail is just like a magnet. And a magnet has an invisible electromagnetic field that runs around it. You can't see it, but literally, metal shavings that are placed in that field will organize themselves into that field. So then if you're drawing from this invisible field and turning it into chemistry, and you're diminishing that field around your body, and the cycle of thinking and feeling is consuming energy, and you're taking this thought in the form of energy and storing it emotionally in your body, then it makes sense then you're taking this energy and storing it in the body. Number one, you're diminishing the polarity between your head and tail, and you're diminishing the field around your body. So now, instead of being a magnet like the body should be, it's like a piece of metal that's no longer a magnet. It's inert and it has no charge.
Your magnetic field. This is what so much of mysticism and esoteric knowledge is about. It's about the knowledge of vital magnetism, right? All living things emit this electromagnetic field. And here's the thing, is when our field is properly charged and polarized, when our field is strong, disease can't enter the field. lack of vitality in any way, lack of alignment in any way can't enter the field. In fact, situations not in harmony with the field you are creating will be like repelled, basically. This frequency transcends space and time, okay? This frequency transcends space and time, meaning that situations that are existing at a lower frequency won't even enter into your reality bubble of your magnetic field. It will be repelled instantly. The law of attraction, is only but a half truth. It's only like half the knowledge of magic, if that. But it is magic, and law of attraction and these types of things is about programming your magnetic field. And when we program our magnetic field to a certain reality, that's what we attract. It's a magnet, right? And essentially, like, stepping into your fullness is evolving this magnetic field. And you can think of like the golden soul, or the fully actualized soul, is being one with the body and magnetic field, fully inhabiting the consciousness, fully present, not locked in the body, consuming energy, but this ball of life force like the sun. And yeah, the knowledge of vital magnetism is so important. And this comes back to the breathing, and is why meditation, and like charging up will and intent, basically calming the mind and learning to use the mind and ascend the energy and awaken the mind and life force, is the basis of magic, is the basis of yoga, is the basis of prayer and faith, really, is because we're connecting to something greater. And so all like magical practitioners, or anyone looking to evolve their consciousness, we must liberate the energy from the body. When we liberate the energy from the body, we actually become more present, and we charge the magnetic field. And from there, we can become creators. Instead of living in body consciousness, locked in hardwired patterns, hardwired emotional patterns, right? Reacting to your emotions, reacting to circumstances of the world, right? We actually gain back our sovereignty and capacity to like vitalize and charge and program our magnetic field to be, conductors of a certain reality, basically. So the knowledge of the magnetic field is really where magic starts. And yeah, so by working with this, it gives you the platform essentially to start creating your reality, and that is the goal, to learn to become creators. So Dr. Joe Dispenza continues to talk about essentially the chemistry of how life force is transmuted into chemistry and how it affects the physical body and consciousness. I really love this kind of like perspective. He's bringing these very high mystical ideas into layman's tongue. So go watch this video, and I want to make a further video. This was just notes on the magnetic field and kind of this process for later videos of mine. But essentially, the next videos that we're going to be coming out with is going to be on the breathing practices, even beyond what he discusses here. And you can go check out all my energy work stuff over at Reality Files. Yeah, really potent notes here. Hit that like button, share this video. Peace out, fam.